What's good, everybody? I'm Blitz5, and in today's video, I'm going to be talking all about Firestorm, which is Battlefield's first entry into the Battle Royale genre. So this game just launched earlier this week on March 25th, 2019, and I'm recording this 2 days later on the 27th, and I'm going to be giving you guys my first impressions and initial review of the game. So I wanted to give myself a couple days to play this game, get some more hours in. I really feel like when you play a new game like this, you need to put in some extra time to really get a handle on the game. Obviously, if you're a fan of shooters or the Battle Royale space, you're going to hop right into this game and understand that the controls are pretty simple. They match the other shooters that are out right now, for example, PUBG, Fortnite, COD. But the more you play the game, you kind of realize that there are some nuanced things in here, and the inventory management can be a little complex, especially in this game. I'm going to mention that later in the video. It's kind of like a con of the game so far, I feel like, is inventory management. So I wanted to wait till I got to the point that everything kind of felt like fluid to me in second nature, where I landed, I wasn't thinking about what button to hit. And once I hit that point, I felt like I was ready to kind of record this video. So quick TLDR for anybody that's about to click away. First and foremost, this is on sale on Xbox Live right now for 50% off. I just bought it just for the launch of Firestorm. Also, the game is amazing, beautiful, all that stuff. But honestly, I'm really concerned with the longevity of this game. I feel like I've already kind of seen all it has to offer right now in the first 2 days. And I know that's kind of a brash first opinion, but I want to let you guys know that I don't know if I can fully recommend you guys purchasing this game at this point. Honestly, I feel like it's just maybe fun to watch for a couple days, and then I would wait for a full announcement of what they're going to be doing with this game. For example, maybe a battle pass, updating the map, new content, because to me, this is not enough to spend an additional $30 unless you have like extra cash laying around and you just want to try it out, or unless you have a bunch of friends that are playing and you want to join them. If your friends are playing, definitely get this game. It's half price and have a bunch of fun. But honestly, I just can't recommend this if you're trying to find a game that's going to be in there for the long haul. I would stick to some of the other games, maybe Apex Legends, PUBG, or Fortnite. And again, just my opinion. So let's get into the game here. I wrote a bunch of different bullet points here, so try not to make this video too long, but let's start with the basics. So this game is published by EA Games. They make Battlefield and all the Battlefield games, but specifically the studio DICE creates the game, and they got some help from Criterion Games in creating this Battle Royale game called Firestorm, which you guys already know if you're watching this video. And to start off the game, there's 2 game modes right now. We got solo and squads only at the moment. There are some posts online that duos is coming in April in some capacity, but it might only be for a limited time. So we also saw this with Apex Legends only launching with squads, kind of missing some of the playlists. I think this is a good kind of start to the game just for keep the community closer together, but we'll see what they do with that. Also, when you play the game, there's only a total of 64 players right now, so this is definitely more on the Apex side compared to Call of Duty, Fortnite, PUBG, which are all around 100 depending on the server size. And the map is called Havoy. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. That's how it's spelled. And something interesting here, when you first launch into the game, you're going to notice that the first circle is already pronounced on the map, and actually a part of the map is blocked off right from the get-go. So there's some pros and cons to this, and we'll just get into it. So first and foremost, I was like, oh, this is weird. It's only like an eighth of the map is blocked out, but then in some matches, it's like a third of the map, depending on where the circle actually is. So this is good because there's only 64 total players, so it makes the first section of the circle kind of more condensed, and then also makes the game a lot quicker. So I noticed it said in the main menu screen that a game is supposed to take around 25 minutes, and I came in first and second a couple times, and I noticed those games were around 20 to 22 minutes. So I'm like, this is awesome. This game is much faster than playing PUBG, which I feel like an average time if you win is around 30 to 35 minutes. So it was a whole 10 minutes faster, but I was surprised to see this from the Battlefield series. I would have more liked to see this in Call of Duty, where it was maybe like a 15 to 22 minute game, depending on when you won. And then Battlefield, I expected it to be really long because the multiplayer matches are long and expansive, especially with the new conquest modes that they put into the game in Battlefield 1 and Battlefield 5. But it is what it is. So pro or con, if you're going to like a faster game, you might dig this. If you want it to be a little longer, more action-packed, more players, that might be a con for you, just depending on what you're interested in. Moving on from that, let's talk about the map a little bit more. Sorry about that. So the map is beautiful and awesome. You're going to see a bunch of gameplay in the back here for me live streaming this. Definitely the best graphics ever. This gameplay ripped from my stream does not do it justice. This is definitely the best multiplayer graphics I've seen on console, and I'm playing on the Xbox One X. And the map is pretty cool. I mean, there's a lot of trees, there's snowy areas, there's like grass areas, there's dirt areas, water, all that stuff, a cool dam. But honestly, it's not that exciting to me. And what I notice is there really isn't a great urban area. Even the hot drops don't have that many buildings. And I dropped at like every location I could the other day when I was streaming. And in the 2 days I've played the game, I kind of feel like I saw it already. And how dare I say that? I feel like that's such a brash opinion to say with only 2 days. But the map to me kind of got a little boring. And I'm worried about the longevity of the game. I said that in the TLDR. But I just don't know. I feel like it needs some more stuff here, more locations. I'm just not really sure how I feel about that, especially because part of the map is closed off when you start it. So we'll just have to see where time goes with this. I don't know if they're going to be updating the map or coming out with more maps, but definitely seems like it needs a little bit more pizzazz on some of the areas to loot and hot drop. Again, just my opinion. Moving on from the map, finally, we got gunplay. And as I said before, I skipped Battlefield 5. I waited for Firestorm. So I was really, really pleasantly surprised to see the gunplay in this game. When I started shooting, the recoil was pretty strong. And I wasn't expecting that because mostly when you play Battlefield and Call of Duty, it's like pretty arcadey. And I've been playing a lot of PUBG where there's like no auto aim. The recoil is pretty brutal. And I felt the recoil was really realistic and kind of hard to use in some instances. So I enjoyed that and I thought it was great. Snipers, LMGs felt good. Even the submachine guns, all that stuff felt really good. And I enjoyed the difficulty of that and kind of the reward for being able to control your recoil. So that's great. That's definitely one of the biggest pluses of the game is gunplay. The vehicles, I feel like they did a great job balancing the vehicles. You need multiple people to drive the vehicle and also operate the weapons. And then the rare vehicles are kind of hidden in these garages, which you need to do an interaction on the side of the garage. You need to like open the garage using a like wheel. And it sounds off like an alarm so people know if you're opening the garage and getting the tank out. And so to me, it's really, really balanced. And then in solo play, you can really only drive or shoot the weapon. I mean, the tank at one time, you need to switch driver seats. So it just becomes this huge balance thing because of the terrain. They actually can't drive super fast because the map is like up and down in a lot of areas. So to me, I didn't feel like I was getting bullied by any of the vehicles. I did get run over one time. That scared the crap out of me, which was kind of funny. It's cool, but oh my God, dude. And so that's all good. Moving on from there, here is kind of one of the negatives is the looting and inventory management. So looting, I see what they did here. When you kill somebody, all of the stuff kind of just falls out on the ground, which is, I guess, kind of realistic in a way or kind of fun. But the issue with this is if you kill somebody in a building or multiple people die in a similar area or in a building, all of their loot is just all over the place, and you can't pick up one thing over the other. It's hard to select one item. You can't hold start and see everything in a list. So you might be trying to pick up an ammo and switch guns, and then switch guns again, and then pick up a rocket launcher while you're trying to pick up a grenade. And I don't get the point of that. It's just really, really frustrating and kind of sloppy. If they're trying to make it realistic and difficult, that's one thing. But to me, it becomes, again, difficult and sloppy and just doesn't really make sense. And that also kind of translates into the inventory management system. The more I played, I was like really upset with the inventory at first. You can see it on the bottom right hand corner of the screen, and you hit down on the D-pad to kind of enlarge it. At first I'm like, dude, this is a joke. But then as you play it more, you're like, okay, I picked it up. Things become a little bit faster. You can reassign some of the items that are in the inventory thing, which is nice. But overall, this needs like a rework in my opinion to make this much more fluid. And again, less of a problem the more you play the game, but the looting thing is always going to be a problem in my opinion. And the inventory is just so. So that goes on from gunplay, the map, vehicles, looting, inventory, and now we got to talk about the actual storm itself, the Firestorm, which is so awesome. This has to be the most creative version of a storm since the origin of this idea in Battle Royale. It's so awesome. It's definitely the most menacing storm I've ever seen. When you look at it, you don't even want to go anywhere near it. I actually haven't even gone into it yet. I don't want to get damaged by it at all. I thought it would just like immediately kill me, but I don't think it does. But it just has that sense, and it's so loud in the area that if you're near it, you really have a hard time hearing what's around you, which is kind of cool. And you really can't see that much. It really kind of blurs the screen. And then as it comes in, it destroys everything in its path. So it's really, really menacing. However, it's not menacing at all because you can outrun it so easily. It's super, super slow. And I was actually super outside the circle and the firestorm started coming in and I was running backwards and stopping, showing everybody in the stream the fire engulfing all of the buildings. And it was not a threat to me at all. So you would basically have to trip and fall down or walk away from your controller or go to the bathroom to get destroyed or killed by the fire. So to me, that needs to be improved to make that a lot more menacing and dangerous or have some kind of risk of dying to it. And then moving on from that, the last thing we can talk about is the sound, which is actually what I've been hearing a lot of complaints about. So the sound is good, sound is great, but there's a lot of sound in the game and the footsteps seem to be really off. So when you're playing, you hear the snow, the wind, you hear tanks and stuff driving by. There's even some music that happens at some point. I was literally standing on top of a mountain and it sounded like cinematic music started playing and I couldn't hear anything at all. So I know a lot of people who are into using headphones like myself and everybody in the Battle Royale genre probably are disappointed or frustrated by that. And then on top of it, if you're in an urban area with a couple of buildings, the footsteps are all over the place. I've heard reports of people saying that they heard someone in front of them, they were behind them, and vice versa. I was in a building. It sounded like the guy was on the same floor as me. I think he was in the next building. The footprints are definitely off and problematic right now in the game, so be aware of that. I don't think the footprints really helped me at all. They only helped me know that someone was in the general area, but I couldn't track anybody down by their footprints, and the only people that I killed were people that I visually saw and tracked down myself. So I don't know if that's purposely done because they don't want people to completely sound whore or if it's just an issue on their side, but I'm sure time again will tell with a lot of these things if they update this or make any kind of announcement. Obviously, I'll be following some of the early announcements on my YouTube video and YouTube channel here. So that's that. So that's my kind of overall first impressions of the game. I really dig it. It's a lot of fun. I can't wait to play squads with my friends, but I'm really worried about the longevity of this game. And I just think for them having this much time to create the game and to be this late into the entry into the Battle Royale space, 2 years, since PUBG's been out, that they should have came out with a lot more content with this off the bat. And I don't know, man. I don't know. We'll see if they do some kind of battle pass and there's pump out a lot of content. But like most Battle Royales, it really depends on what they do going forward, So we'll have to just see. Only time will tell. So as always, I appreciate you guys checking out this video, paying attention, listening. If you made it this far, I really appreciate you guys. Please like the video if you can. And as always, have a wonderful rest of your day. I'll talk to you guys later on Butts5. Peace out. Snapshot on him. So hopefully this guy wins. I'm going to root for him. He killed me, so might as well root for him to finish the game. He's playing aggressive. You play scared, you die scared. This guy's playing scared. He's in the building. He got third-partied, unfortunately. This guy's probably going to end up winning the game. Enemy's leaving the house. Firestorm on his back. Lord is in the advantage height-wise. Got plenty of health still, ripping shots. And looks like he just became the sole survivor. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. And there you go, man. That is the lamest phrase of all time. Gets V for victory. At least get rid of the gets and just say V for victory or something, or have a big V cry fly across the stream or something. Screen have a burning V or something.